Morning. While I speed dangerously down the road, I figured I might step it up a little bit and talk into a camera, you know, really live on the edge. Cohen v. California, that is a Supreme Court case from, I'm going to say 60s or 70s, I think 70s. And it is misunderstood and misquoted in this community pretty terribly. The general takeaway that you get by listening to people in this community is that because of Cohen v. California, saying fuck the police is 100% protected and it can never be criminalized, or there can be no policies or regulations that prevent you from doing or saying that. And that is not what Cohen v. California held, and that is not what we see in practice. And once again, if your belief doesn't match reality, I strongly suggest you alter your belief so that it does match reality. And again, if saying fuck the police is 100% protected, if they can't do anything to stop you from saying it, then one may wonder why you can't go into the Supreme Court and sit there and listen to them whilst wearing a shirt that says fuck the police. You can't do it. I don't suggest you try it. If you do, you will prove my point. You cannot go into the Supreme Court, into the actual courtroom. Maybe they'll let you wander around in the area that's open to the public. They probably will, because they probably don't have a compelling reason to prevent you from doing it, but they will not let you into that courtroom wearing that shirt. I'll bet you a shiny brand new American nickel that they will not let you do it. So what does Cohen v. California actually say? Cohen v. California, a guy was in a courthouse. Not really relevant to, it wasn't really relevant where he was, but he was there. He was wearing a jacket, I believe, or a shirt. I think it was a jacket that said fuck the draft. The police didn't like him. They didn't like the cut of his jib, and they decided to arrest him. And what should we charge him with, was the thought. And the thought was, we will charge him with disturbing the peace. California Penal Code 415, and the part that they were charging him with was basically offensive conduct. Now, how did it get to the Supreme Court? Well, the Court of Appeals said, well, offensive conduct is fighting words. That's how we're going to define what offensive conduct is. It's fighting words. And as we all know, fighting words are not protected speech at all. They're not. They're just not protected speech. So the Supreme Court said, well, it's fighting words, and so the arrest is legit, the charge is legit, the conviction is legit because it's fighting words. The statute is in compliance with the First Amendment, no problems. And the Supreme Court said, wait, no, it's not. Fuck the police is not fighting words. It's a political statement. And so you can't say it's a fighting word. So it's not in that unprotected, that completely unprotected class of speech. It is regular speech. And because California Penal Code 415 was dealing with speech that was protected by the Fourth Amendment, if they wanted to criminalize that speech, they would have to do it in a more particularized, they'd have to have a more particularized and compelling reason to do so. That's what the court held. Particularized and compelling. They didn't say you can't prevent this particular style of speech. They said you have to have a particularized and compelling reason to do so. In other words, it's got to meet one of the tests for speech. So if somebody tells you that because of Cohen v. California that they have carte blanche to say fuck the police, they're not understanding it completely. And that's what I see a lot in this particular community. They'll grab onto something that looks like it fits, NJ Diver, and they'll say, see, this fits, this fits. It's a similar fact pattern, and it holds what I want it to hold, but it doesn't actually have the holding that you want it to hold. Because, for example, when I was looking up the Georgia disturbing the peace statutes for, I forget his name, taking a stand? I don't remember. I was looking them up for somebody, and in Georgia, if you swear, if you use vulgar language in front of a child under the age of 14, a female under the age of 14, if I remember it correctly, I don't remember exactly, but something like, if you swear in front of a female under the age of 14, you are guilty of disturbing the peace. Just so theoretically, if you walked up to a 14-year-old or a 13-year-old girl and you said, fuck the police, you may be guilty of disturbing the peace. Now, would it hold up? It's held up so far, that particular statute. I don't know, maybe if they applied it in that particular situation, if it would hold up. But so far, that particular statute and that particular interpretation have held up. They've been found by every court that's looked at it to be within the bounds of the First Amendment. In other words, the First Amendment doesn't preclude that particular limitation on speech. People who drop these hard and fast rules, and I'm probably guilty of it from time to time too, utterly applies, and then I don't go on to say, so that means the government has to have a reasonable reason for that particular policy. But maybe I just don't like to repeat myself all the time. I don't know. I probably should be more specific most of the time. But anyway, Cohen v. California isn't your get-out-of-jail-free card. It does protect, like I think what Eric is doing with carrying around his sign, especially when he's out in public, 100% guaranteed, protected, free speech. He can march up and down that sidewalk all day long with that fuck the police sign, and by God and by golly, he's dead on right to do it. No issues with it. I mean, is it offensive? Sure. Congratulations, this is America. You don't have the right to not be offended. If he goes into a post office with it, then it gets a little less clear. Is he protesting? Is he the post office is a non-public forum, Cokinda, non-public forum, but they do allow some forms of free speech there. So maybe, I mean, that's a little bit less cut and dry. If he walks into the Supreme Court, though, then definitely no. Sorry, you don't get to have your fuck the police sign inside the Supreme Court. You don't. You will lose. I guarantee it, hands down. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. Someday somebody's going to challenge it and they're going to prove me wrong. And that'll be a great day for free speech. One other thing is Snooker B is back in my comments. I don't know why. Maybe it's because No Thanks went full sovereign citizen when he was arrested. But anyway, she's back in my comments. And she's once again pointing at the Jews as the cause for all the issues in our country. And she's simultaneously claiming she's not being an anti-Semite. And here's how you can tell if someone is pointing out an issue or if they're being a racist. If they say, the evil guy did this, probably not racist. If they say the evil black guy or the evil Jewish guy did this, unless they're trying to differentiate him from the other evil guy, then they're probably racist. And if you're going on and on about Jews and Jewish cabals and shekels and the Goyim no, or whatever it is, I feel comfortable saying that you're acting like a racist. I feel comfortable doing that. So do with it what you will. Sukubi may not be racist, but I am free to believe she is. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.